I think one of the key attributes for us to go out and buy a blade is how it looks to us. It's got to look cool, be attractive to us. And in terms of looks, the SOG Field Pup series is kind of goofy, perhaps organic looking. And I myself fell into the trap discounting the SOG Field Pup for a number of years. You know, I read about it online in catalogs. I think even held one here and there, and I was like, yeah, that's a cool knife. Just, I don't know, man. It just didn't connect with me until I bought one. And I started using this particular knife right here for TMP. Been in inventory for well over a year now. Riding on LBE, you've seen it in Run and Guns, no doubt. Fell in love with the SOG Field Pup. This is a Field Pup 1, satin finished. Underneath here, I've got two titanium nitride coated SOG Field Pups. There's a Field Pup 2, the larger version, 4 3/4 inch blade, and there is a black tie-nye 4-inch one. To use, and perhaps more importantly, to carry the SOG Field Pup is to love it, in my book. I'm not all about how a knife looks, absolutely I'm not. In fact, I'm very dialed in from TMP, but even before then, of the second kind of cool for blades that I've talked about here on camera, and that is practicality, what they're capable of doing. Especially at price points that are very attractive, and that is a huge selling point for the SOG Field Pups. On to POU. First and foremost, I will say light tactical blade. I've strapped it onto LBE just to see how it carries, if it's obtrusive, unobtrusive. It actually carries like it's invisible. It's so lightweight. The MOLLE sheath is a huge win in my opinion. We'll talk about it in detail here in just a second. And also to see if it would be a viable LBE option for soldiers out there. I will tell you now, this is definitely going in my best soldiers knives playlist. For guys and gals who are deploying, need a very lightweight, that's a key attribute, fixed blade to integrate, to perhaps use as an emergency backup weapon. That's what I mean by tactical blade. It absolutely has the attributes for that. When we get to ergonomics or wherever, we'll talk about that. POU, absolutely light tactical. Maybe the best option for that one would be the larger Field Pup 2. Although I don't think you'd be shortchanged with a Field Pup 1 either, especially if you go with a blackened blade like that. Primarily though, philosophy of use, camp knife. Maybe a light survival blade. It will take light batoning. It is not a heavy duty user knife though. You might want to upgrade your woods tools if that's what you're looking for. I use it as intended primarily for food preparation at the campsite and then kindling. That's how you've seen me use my small camp knives. A number of them at this point here in TMP. That's how it could be fulfilled. Collectible? Probably not. That's basically the POUs as I see them. Cranking on. Talked about tactical use. We're going to look at ergonomics right now. Look at this handle on the Field Pup 2. It is Kraton and it is ideal. It is so comfortable and ergonomic. And again, form follows function here. Maybe not looking at it going, oh, that's the coolest handle in the world. What else do I have on the table kind of to illustrate my point? How about another SOG knife? Say hello again, Mr. Creed. How you doing, Creed? Dude, haven't seen you forever. That is a cool looking knife. High on the Nutnfancy Likability Scale, but that's a cool handle. It's a cool blade. It looks cool. Just visually striking, at least to me. There's different tastes out there, no doubt. This one lacks that. You look at it and you go, kitchen knife maybe? Maybe that's what you think of. I did when I looked at the Field Pup. Hold it though, and then tell me what you think. It fits the human hand perfectly, and look at that jimping you have there top side, and it is executed with perfection. Perfection, and it's thumb ramped, so it's not just on a flat spine. You can dig your thumb in right there, and the handle is comfortable, ergonomic, great traction out of the Kraton, and it's not grippy either. It's a perfect blend where it won't grab cloth. That's an important attribute in my opinion, because like if you put it on your LBE and you're running your shirt by it and it's always rubbing against you like pure rubber handle knives, I don't like it. So whatever the blend of Kraton they're using, it's perfect. And then you can use it for non-lethal impacts as well. When you're talking about the handle, look how roomy it is. You know, forward, reverse grips, it's just perfect. There's a place to attach your lanyard right there, and it's big enough where you don't have to like pull it through viciously. A little bit smaller on the Field Pup one. Speaking of which, let's check that handle out. Smaller, of course, because it's a smaller blade, but it still is big enough for me. Again, I have large size hands, glove size. Jimping still there. Smaller, I was going to say miniature. It's not miniature, but a smaller thumb ramp. Still a huge win on that handle. Getting back to the tactical philosophy of use, you're going to have ideal traction if, I sure hope you never have to do this, you have to employ it to save your life. Yes, tactical POU. The balance is excellent on this full tang knife. That's right, it's full tang all the way under that Kraton handle. Balance is excellent. As I judge it, I'm not a knife fighter, so you know, if you are a martial artist dude, maybe you'll differ. Love the feel. Weight is just, again, phenomenal. Here we go. I'm holding the Field Pup 2 with the leather sheath, which is right here. I have it extracted, of course. Actually, it's less than that. It's 8 ounces. In the MOLLE sheath, the Field Pup 1 is 7.8 ounces. This MOLLE option is going to add some weight. And if you just put it in its included leather sheath, unless you get the MOLLE version, it's only 5.8 ounces. What? 5.8 ounces? Even in MOLLE, let's just call it 8 ounces. That, for a fixed blade, is pretty darn light, especially for a full tang fixed blade option. Blade design. It is organic. It's going to be harder to sharpen because there are some curves going on there. If you use your Edge Apex Pro, you're going to have to use that thinner sharpening stone. You could use a diamond rod for it. Out of box, these things are wicked sharp, both of them. Blade shape is okay. It's got excellent belly, though, for that food preparation and the utility tasks, which will be called upon with this knife. Tip, let's check that out. Field Pup Elite hanging out in the wings here. You'll see that here in a second. Adequate. Beautiful edge polishing on that by SOG, don't you think? Look at the job they did on all 3 of these knives. This is the one, again, that I've been using for a long time. Just beautiful. I haven't done hard use with it, I'll tell you that. Just didn't want to. I did a lot of cutting with it, rope cutting, just other materials, nothing major though. Plot thickens right here though. Once upon a time, they used to make the SOG Field Pup series in AUS-8 steel. I didn't go researching and find out exactly when they switched, but these knives are featuring nowadays a Chinese steel, and they are produced in China, and that's probably why they have this steel, because it's obtainable for them. 7CR17 MOV. Analogous to what everybody's saying to 440A, which I generally hate, to be absolutely honest with you. I don't like soft stainless steels. I think this 7CR17 MOV is about the same. It only, according to the SOG website, it only has a 55 to 57 Rockwell hardness. Kind of a soft steel, pretty good rust resistance, easy to sharpen. I miss the AUS-8, I'm not going to lie to you. It is truly affordable though. That's an upside, I guess. So there's always a lot of reasons why manufacturers switch steels. It's not always, well, they want to maximize, you know, the money they're taking in. Actually, sometimes they just want to continue producing a knife and a source shuts down on them. And they're like, well, if we want to keep making this knife, we got to go to point B. Maybe that's what happened at SOG. I didn't call Chris and ask him. I miss it though. The 717, I don't know, it just doesn't move me that much. I think it'll be adequate for most of the POUs you'll put this knife into. A lot of guys just calling it Chinese 440A pretty much. I love 8CR13 MOV, which is featured in this Kershaw knife. Riding in this custom-made Red Hill Kydex sheath in booty cam. Check that. Woo! That's a sweet sheath. By the way, did I even tell you guys that? I think when I did this review on the Kershaw, the 1029, you can see right there, I said this knife would be an outstanding soldier knife if you could get a decent sheath for it. Here you go. The only downside I would say is it's expensive to get these, and it adds weight. And they're going to be a lot heavier than a nylon MOLLE option. Okay, just a little sidetrack right there. That's a beautiful sheath though. Look how that clips in. Oh my gosh, it's so sweet. You can make that for your Field Pup as well. Some guys say, well, why would you do, a sheath, for a, whatever this is, a $25 knife? Well, because if you lose a knife, you bust a knife, get another knife. You always can keep the sheath, right? If it's locked onto your LBE, probably won't lose it. Back to the steel though, this one's 8CR 13 MOV. I abused the heck out of these Kershaws, and they ran well. The Bear Hunter, Antelope Hunter, and this one's wearing my edge on it. From the Edge Apex Pro, you can see. Wicked sharp. I wish they were using 8CR here. In fact, SOG, if you do an upgrade to steel, do 8CR 13 MOV. I don't think any guy would complain about that. Over AUS 8, I wouldn't miss it at all. Great blade shape, great jimping. It's hollow ground. I don't have any issues with that. It's just a steel. Handle and guard we've already covered. Onto the sheath. The leather sheaths that come with the SOG Field Pups are actually, they're okay. They're nothing special. Again, this is a price point knife, and so what do you expect? You are getting a stitch sheath with a spacer in there, retention clasp, standard loop over belt loop, and they are very lightweight. So that's an upside, I guess. So decent black leather sheath for that, and I think these are intended as a traditional hunting knife. That's kind of what their role is from SOG. And then later on in the game, they probably saw some soldiers were running around with it, and they said, or maybe from their customers, they said, hey, let's offer a MOLLE option. There you go. And I think you can buy it like this too. This sheath is awesome. In fact, I almost prefer it, not almost, I do prefer it over Kydex just in terms of weight. There's your MOLLE weave strap there. The stitching is perfection. I think this thing is made overseas too, the sheath, Vietnam, wherever. Has a sharpening stone pocket. You can put a multi-tool knife in there. I never use those unless I'm really short on pockets. Has a plastic liner inside. This is a black tie knife, Field Pup 1. And by the way, that's catalog number FP4-L. This is FP6-L. I like the blackened versions a little bit better, especially in soldier use. Got some rivets right here if you want to strap it, or if you're jumping with it, I think that's the intention, where you could really lock it down so you won't lose your knife. But even at 7.8 ounces, it carries so well. Not a dedicated drain hole that I found on here, but it won't retain moisture, and it's just as durable as can be. And that comes from field testing here in TMP. This one's been rolling in the dirt for over a year, getting thrashed on. Look how that sucker locks in there. It's just beautiful. Well done, SOG. You can buy these, by the way, directly from the SOG website for an affordable cost. I looked around, did not see one for the Field Pup 2. I may have missed it. And there might be another one for another SOG model. I'm talking MOLLE sheath that may fit it. It has kind of a funky blade though, right? Unlike the Seal Pup Elite. That's a sheath I like. I really like the MOLLE one. Competitive offerings. I showed you the Bear Hunter from Kershaw. That's a reviewed knife here in TMP. It's been out there for a long time. Some other ones in no particular order, just because they're in the review room right now. And here it is. Seal Pup Elite, reviewed back in 2009, I think. That's another stainless camp, maybe lightweight tactical blade. That's an awesome sheath. I talked at length about that in that review. Here's another SOG one, and I really like these knives. They're intended as hunting knives, the wood lines, to be reviewed soon. This is a really nice knife. Look at that wicked sweep that has. This one is featuring my edge on it. Look at that sweet edge. I polished that with Apex Pro. Oh my gosh, I love that sharpener. I love the 8CR 13 MOV as a value steel. Very good. That's another option. Has the same style of sheath. No MOLLE option on that one that I'm aware of. And how about MOLLE? I've done some backpacking trips with these, and I love these knives. This is a MOLLE Clipper 840 MG. I leave the stickers on there so I don't get confused because they have all different names. They're great stainless steel, lightweight camp knives. Scandi grinds on them, which, to be honest, I can take or leave. Bushcrafters love that Scandi grind. I'm not a bushcrafter. These are extremely affordable though, $15 to $20 depending on the model. You might be a little bit more. Beautiful knives though, so that's a great option. It's just a beautiful, perfect sheath. That lightweight, lighter than even the Field Pup. I think this is about 5 ounces, something like that. So any number of Moras would do good. Mora knives, I'm trying to say. Losing my train of thought. That's all I got on the table, dudes. It's competitive options. Quality. Well, it's made overseas, as a lot of knives are from all types of manufacturers. That's just the way it is. You know, if we brought this knife stateside, I think the price would skyrocket. I don't think, I know. You might get a better steel out of the deal, though, and a lot of us would probably be willing to pay the price for that better steel. The quality as executed is outstanding, though. I don't see any flaws in the blade. Like I said, the edges as they come out of box, perfection. As are most SOG knives. They do such a good job with it, though. And that brings us to value. Here we go. Look in the upper right. That's where I recommend getting it. And I don't even know if I wrote down the prices. Yeah, I did. How about the Field Pup 1, the blackened version, non-MOLLE, $37. A little bit higher, a little bit lower, subject to change. The Field Pup 2, this one here with leather sheath, $41. Now we're getting that 7.7, I'm calling it 717, but it's actually 7CR 17 MOV steel. I'm just going to say 717 steel is saving you money. It's not the best steel out there. It is going to be a little bit soft. I already mentioned my preference on that, but that's still a great value for a SOG blade. Some of the ones I just rolled out in front of you are going to be less, in some cases substantially less. If you're going to go out there and really beat on it, you might consider that. But for a $30 knife, $40 knife, I don't mind beating on those. That's not like a $200 blade where I feel stupid if I go out and really thump on the thing hard. Two kinds of cool. I think you can forget about first kind of cool. I'm sorry, second kind of cool. Where, and I may have said that backwards at the beginning of the video, where we're talking about intrinsic attraction to us. I think it's all about first kind of cool with a Field Pup. That it is a very functional fixed blade knife. It's extremely lightweight, very sharp. It'll hold an edge well enough in most situations, I think. I know. I don't like soft steels either. They bug me. Outstanding jimping. Great MOLLE sheath, at least in that smaller version. The handle is perfection. The only real hit I can give it is the steel. Other than that, the SOG Field Pups are absolute wins from SOG. Thanks for watching. See ya.